Oh, please tell me you have an answer for me about the butterflies.
What are you up to now?
Okay, for all you complaining where it is, I mean, I thought this was good enough, but that's my bad. I should have showed the map. It's right here. For all you whiners. It is just right there. And you cast the light, and boom, follow the candlesticks.
there they are. She wasn't making it up. Well, we've come this far. Miss Willardsey might get an answer about these butterflies. Well, look what we have. Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade.
Can't thank you enough for helping to save the
Oh,
village.
please tell me you have an answer for me about the butterfly.
Hello, Miss Willardsey. They led me into the forest.
Oh, how lovely! I'm glad you were rewarded for your efforts. Perhaps one day I'll be able... For now, I'm happy simply knowing there's something...
I don't think Mr. Pemberton meant to use his own station.
Hello there.
Hello, Armeet. Do I recall you saying that you speak gobbledygook?
I did. I do. Speak it. Is this to do with the goblin I saw you with in Hogsmeade?
It is. His name is Lodgok. We could use your help with something. He's waiting for me near a goblin mine. Would you be willing to help?
Of course. How exciting. Well, might this be dangerous?
I think he simply wants to show me something that involves gobbledygook. If it helps, he's a friend of Sirona's.
Good to hear. Good to hear. If Sirona trusts him, then I feel much better.
Lodgok is waiting. Shall we go?
Of course. I just want to check their pronunciation.
always said that travel broadens the mind.
I had technical difficulties and the stream stopped for some reason.
A friend who speaks gobbledygook is meeting us. Before he arrives, perhaps you could tell me why we're here?
Of course. Unfortunately, presenting Ranrock with the Helmet of Urtkot did not have the effect I'd hoped. Because he knew the details surrounding its plunder, he presumed I'd had help from a witch or wizard in retrieving it.
How else did he expect Goblinkind to get the helmet back? Seems he has no interest in making amends with you.
I'm afraid we do not have the luxury of rational expectation when it comes to Ranrock. Damn Bragbor and his blasted journals.
Bragbor?
An ancestor of Ranrock's, renowned metal worker. If we are to work together, I suppose I must tell you more. Not long ago, Ranrock sent me to collect a recently unearthed set of Bragbor's journals. They described repositories that Bragbor had been commissioned to build for a group of witches and wizards.
What do you mean, repositories?
Large, magically fortified receptacles crafted from goblin metal. Ranrock recruited others to help me locate the repositories. We were to search anywhere that was connected to 5 names mentioned in the journals: Rackham, Fitzgerald, Bakar, Morganach, and Rookwood.
Rookwood Castle.
That is where we began our search.
Why does Ranrock care so much about these repositories?
He cares about what they contain. For centuries, wizards have refused to share their magical knowledge with goblins. Your kind will not even let us carry wands. Thus, many goblins, myself included, have spent our lives mistrusting wizard kind. Ranrock was convinced that the repositories contained a magical power that wizards wanted to keep for themselves. He is determined to take it for goblin kind. But
Here comes my friend Amit. Probably best to continue our conversation later.
Greetings, Lord Gok. It is an honor, sir.
You speak gobbledygook.
Oh, Bagalio.
Enough. Please do not tell me that was meant to be gobbledygook.
Well, yes. Perhaps my pronunciation was a bit off. I imagine certain dialects differ.
Pronunciation is not the issue. I barely recognize that as language. I trust you can read gobbledygook better than you can speak it?
I can, Sir Lord Gok.
Just Lodgok. Thankfully, we only need someone who can decipher written plans, since I cannot.
Why can't you come with us?
We need some idea of what Ranrock knows or is plotting. I suspect a careless loyalist may have left plans behind.
God dang. My game crashed. What do you mean you can talk to yourself, Elijah? Damn. Me and that goblin are cousins, Elijah. That was a good one, bruh.
A friend who speaks.
Of course, because he knew.
How else?
I'm
Bragball.
an ancestor of Ranrock's, renowned metal worker. If we are to work together, I suppose I must. Not long ago, they described
What do you mean?
large Ranrock. We were to say
Rookwood Castle.
that is where we.
Why does Ranrock?
He cares about. For centuries, thus meant Ranrock was. He was.
Here comes my friend Armeet. Probably best to continue our conversation later.
Greetings, Lord Gok. It is an honor, sir.
You speak gobbledygook.
Oh, Bagalio.
Enough. Please do not tell me that was meant to be gobbledygook.
Well, yes. Perhaps my pronunciation was a bit off. I imagine certain dialects differ.
Pronunciation is not the issue. I barely recognize that as language. I trust you can read gobbledygook better than you can speak it?
I can, Sir Lord Gok.
Just Lodgok.
Sir
Thankfully,
Ludgok.
we only need someone who can decipher written plans, since I cannot join you in the mine.
What written plans? And why can't you come with us?
We need some idea of what Ranrock knows or is plotting. I suspect a careless loyalist may have left plans behind. And I'm unable to join you because I cannot risk anyone reporting my presence to Ranrock. All you need to do is not be seen, either by the eye above the enchanted door or a loitering loyalist.
Armeet and I can do this.
I will await your return. I shall see you soon.
Enter the goblin mine. I know I'm a goblin, bit. Why does that happen?
The door's looking at us. Revelio. Accio. Confringo. Compulso. Accio.
Where are the two of you headed? No?
Solid 7 out of 10.
I shall see you
Solid
there.
7 out of 10. It's a good game. They've added some decision making in it, which I like. Some of the stuff is tedious. Like this. Like,
Expelliarmus.
how the hell do I enter this goblin mine?
Right. Don't wish to be seen, do we?
We need to break its line of sight somehow.
My biggest complaint, the tedious stuff.
Books
It's
so
just
rarely
there's a
prepare
lot of
one for
puzzles.
reality. A real goblin mine. It's even grander than I had expected. I cannot believe I met a
Revelio.
goblin.
Let's just learn what we can and get out.
Look at this lid. Impressive workmanship for so simple a device.
Impressive workmanship aside, it's the only way forward.
Plus, it's kind of repetitive, you know? It's like, go kill this, go kill that. But most games are that nowadays. It's hard to make an open world game different, you know?
I've read about mines like this, but seeing them is something else altogether.
The combat's fun as hell. I actually look forward to the combat.
You'll need to stay close to me. I've dealt with worse enemies than
I
these.
play on the normal difficulty. There's 4 difficulties. There's story, easy, normal, and art. I play on normal. And I have a blast with it. I'd give the combat a 9 out of 10.
Just you wait till I'm on solid ground! What's that shit? Number up white, coming back this way. Defender.
That was a little more than I'm used to.
I'll get us through here safely, Amit. You have my word. Accio! Being watched by a door.
I'll be quiet.
But yeah, combat 9 out of 10.
Incendiary.
I feel like a character from one of the adventure books I read during the summer holidays.
Let's take a look around, Amit. See if we can find any plans.
Bound to be a schematic. They're building something. I can't quite make it out. Curious. Let me know if you see any more plans or schematics. We can't return to Lodgok empty-headed.
Revelio.
Fascinating to see gobbledygook written in a goblin hand. The flourishes are extraordinary. There must be more notes around here. What could they be building?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot. I mean, when I pulled this shit up, 40% done through challenges. And then when I look at quests, apparently I'm 61% done with quests. So I'm a little bit over halfway. And I've put in
If I'm translating this correctly,
over 30
and I
hours.
think that I am, they're building something rather large. But what? I will get to the bottom of what they've been building down here.
Cruising.
Chill spells chance off them.
Glacius. Stupid one. Defender. Stupid one.
Much too slow.
Good finger. Defender.
Too slow.
Protego. Depulsor.
Yeah, I'm close to 40.
Glacius.
I've been fighting since before you were born.
Leviosa.
Put me down. Let's get this over with.
Incendio.
Rubber up wide, coming back this way. Was that your best? Showing off, are we?
Glacius.
Name's your arm. I won't bet.
Oh, this really is too much.
Stay close. I've handled much worse.
Another boiler. Another schematic. What are they going to build? This mine is too small for whatever it is.
Confringo. Incendio. Accio. Depulsor. Revelio.
There's stairs over here, though.
Depulsor. Revelio.
The hell? Ah.
Depulsor.
Yeah, the combat's fun. Can't complain about the combat. It just gets kind of repetitive, but again, every RPG game is that way. Skyrim is that way, but they do a really good job of still making it fun, which this game still does a good job of making it fun too. Cyberpunk, all of them do it. Cyberpunk did it and was horrible at it. But this one, I mean, and you also make decisions, and you do get a rapport with the characters. There is some story. Although, yeah, the story's pretty good too.
Devil's snare. Nasty stuff if we're not careful.
People do die too, so it's
Not
some
an
kids
entanglement
game.
we need right now.
The hell?
Revelio.
Is this it? This is all that was in here.
Lumos.
The wizards will have no choice but to submit to us.
Crucible. Confringo. Potato.
That was me. Strong. Let's get this over with.
Confringo.
You can't stop us. All your magic tricks, what you grab me?
Glacius.
That's embarrassing.
Confringo.
Won't get away with that.
Accio. Expelliarmus. Levioso. Incendio. Confringo. Crucible.
Coming back this way.
Accio. Incendio. Expelliarmus. Depulso. Confringo.
I've been fighting since before you were born.
Defendo.
I will make you pay.
Pity. Glacius. Defendo.
I won't rest until you're dead.
Confringo.
How many of them are there?
I done used
That
all
should
my
be
health
the last of
potions.
them, I'll eat.
Yeah, that's true. But Cyberpunk also had you going through like the same exact dungeons over and over and over and over and over and over. And there was no story. The story was the most mid-whack story.
Yes, of course.
It's
This is not good. They're building enormous drills, bigger than this mine could contain.
Let's get out of here and tell Lodgok what we found. Accio.
I need a moment to catch my breath. This was more than I bargained for.
I'm glad you came with me, Amit. Now that we know what they're up to, we can get out of here. Aloha, Mora. We're almost out of here, Amit. Look, the lift.
A welcome sight indeed. Can we please?
That wasn't so bad, was it?
It was. It really was. I'm afraid I've had enough adventure for one day.
Slick it is.
For a
It's like you're
lifetime,
right here,
perhaps.
bro. Just chilling.
Thank you, Amit. I couldn't have done it without you. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to have a word with Lodgok.
Understood? I'll leave you to it. Your goblin secrets are safe with me. But without further ado, adieu.
They're building enormous drills. We found their plan.
I fear you are correct. Other than Rookwood Castle, however...
I've been wondering about something else you said before we end.
Yes?
If you share Ranrock's views, then
I expected Rookwood Castle to be deserted when I arrived to begin my search. So was surprised to find a witch there who had set up a sort of improvised research site. She was studying something so intently that she almost didn't notice me. When she looked up, I thought she would react with fear or disdain. But instead she did something that I will never forget. Without a moment's hesitation, she smiled and asked me to sit with her. She told me that she was a researcher and showed me a small, oddly shaped container with a strange symbol on it. She was certain it was made of goblin metal, but was unable to open it. She wanted to work together.
Miriam.
Yes. But how did you...
Professor Fig's wife. He told me of her research, and I know of the container.
Ah. The reverence with which she talked of goblins and their intelligence and skill, it caught me entirely off guard.
You answer some questions and it
never been treated with
suggests a
such
house,
respect by a
but
witch or
ultimately I
wizard.
think you can pick your house.
So,
It suggested
to my
Slytherin, so I
surprise,
chose Slytherin.
I let her study the container if she would allow me to search the castle on my own. We parted ways, with her promising to share what she'd learned. More of Ranrock's recruits arrived, and we began to dig, eventually locating the first repository. Ranrock was thrilled with our discovery, but furious when I told him about Miriam. Berated me for trusting a witch, and I heard she'd been killed.
You think Ranrock murdered her?
I don't want to believe it, but I don't know. After that, something shifted in me. I had seen how the power from the repositories was transforming Ranrock, transforming all of them. I could no longer remain a part of it.
Thank you, Lodgok, for telling me this.
I tell you all of this so that you understand what is at stake.
Slick. That's probably it.
Ranrock never found all of Bragbor's journals, but the ones he did find suggest that Bragbor at some point built a repository far greater in size than the one beneath Rookwood Castle. What you've discovered here today worries me deeply. If Ranrock learns of the location of that repository, I fear we shall be destined for a great war. I will find out what Ranrock knows. Watch for my owl.
I should let Deke know about the newborn Thestral. Hello, Deke. You'll be pleased to know that a little Thestral was born.
How wonderful to have more Thestrals in our world. Such misunderstood beasts.
I'm sorry that we can both see Thestrals, Deke.
Deke is privileged to see such majestic beasts, but sometimes wishes Deke couldn't. Deke is to blame.
What do you mean, to blame?
Years ago, Deke's master ordered Deke to help him capture a phoenix, the rarest of all beasts, that Master had spotted high on a cliff. The phoenix was the most beautiful beast Deke had ever seen. Deke begged Master to leave her be. When Deke hesitated to climb up the cliff as ordered, Deke had to punish himself. As Deke punished himself, Master grew angrier and angrier, and in his frustration cast at the regal bird. Deke suspects the phoenix was protecting eggs when it swooped down in fear and fury. Before Deke could reach him, Master fell from the cliff. Deke stayed on that cliffside for days, punishing himself, before Tobbs found him.
What a horrible tale, Deke. I'm so sorry.
Deke has only told Professor Weasley that story, and now yourself. Deke often wonders what became of that phoenix. Deke feels fortunate to be at Hogwarts now, helping you rescue beasts. Perhaps Deke can make amends for what came before.
I'll probably be playing for a while. When are you able to play it?
Deke thinks you should be proud of all the potions you brewed.
This will be more useful when I have something to identify. I'd like to ask...
Of course.
I'd like...
Oh. I'd like to ask... Of course!
Actually,
Where the hell am I going? It's like underneath.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
Revelio.
Just when I think I've learned.
You got Slytherin? So you told him you wanted ambition? Hey, welcome to Slytherin, my friend. Wow, they actually added Christmas decorations now. That's kind of cool too, is without even really telling you, all of a sudden notice it's snowy, or you got Christmas decorations.
I adore decorating for the holidays.
And people talking about it. It's pretty cool.
There you are. The Crosswands duelist to beat.
Okay, I am confused. Speak to the portrait of Professor Neon Fitzgerald in the map chamber. Let me just swim in this ice cold water real quick. Is this right? I think there's a glitch. And it just stops right here. What the hell am I looking at? In the map chamber. Ah. This might be a good video because if it's glitching for other people. The map chamber. Whoops, wrong one. There it is.
Welcome back.
Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search.
Most troubling.
Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle?
They are. I fear we have no time to lose. Have a look at the map. Fortunately, the next trial is fairly nearby.
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress in my time. In fact, I witnessed Professor Black learn of your arrival. And I'll confess that I wondered about you.
Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office?
It is. I had hoped that when the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to us. Unfortunately, this headmaster seems wildly unconcerned with anything but himself. You'll need...
I understand.
Good. I shall meet you in my...
How will I gain access to the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig will know what to do. Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade.
I wish I'd paid more attention when I was alive.
Hello again. Wonderful to see you. As before, I've arranged a special price on the broom upgrade for you.
Special price.
Thanks for stopping by. What are we looking for today? You'll be thrilled with that broom, I promise you. You're all set with the new upgrade. This...
You'd like me to report back?
You know me. Miss Reyes is running a time. However, if you're...
I'm not worried, Mr. Weeks. I'll see if I can find Imelda.
I hope you are able to complete these trials. I have a feeling this final upgrade is going to be a sweeping success. Do be careful, of course. I shall look forward to hearing from you soon. I look forward to our next meeting.
The hell? It's far down there.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
A castle. Must have been quite stately in its time.
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle. That's Archie and Mrs. Bickle. Agabus Filbert.
All right.
I said, and as my mother would...
Very well.
I knew I could run. We need to know how they are being black. Meet me here after you have... Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
One never knows.
Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
Oh, Isco, what have I...
Mrs. Rabe?
Poor Joanna and little Archie.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security... Harlow approached me about helping.
And you decline?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up. Until I The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if... But the help Harlow wants...
Thank you, Mrs. Ray.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but...
I shall do all I...
Very well.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
Now, to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends. Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check that.
Please tell me you didn't take it.
Mr. Dibble.
I've nothing to say.
Please, sir. I'd like...
You know the Bickles?
I know Mr. Hill.
Oh, he's a good man. But it started a few weeks... I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the...
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare... Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms.
What does he ask you to do?
It all happened. He said, your secret... I've been able to... But I can't keep it up.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dead. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed...
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where were they?
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends.
So, you're gonna want to get out of its sight. Do this. It'll go to sleep. And I guess... nothing was in this one? Huh. But that's how you open them.
Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Go into the bathroom.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic, what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now.
Perhaps. But perhaps I would have suffered a similar fate.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again, but do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
If I thought I could.
Revelio. It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there. Natty must be around here somewhere. Revelio.
Her wand.
Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken.
Nosy little students get what's coming to them.
Revelio. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find... The footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward. Revelio. Accio. A hidden door. Revelio. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
It's not gonna work. Girl's babe. Someone's coming for her. We ought to just kill her. Hey, student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone. Hey, I had another.
I don't trust Ranrock, I'll tell you that. He'll tell on us first chance he gets.
This is personal. Might want to look up. Exposo! Crucial. Depulsor. Defender. Pay for your deeds. Roofers don't go down easy. Crucial. Confringo.
I'm just warming up. Had enough?
Confringo.
No!
Glacis. Expulso! What are you, shy? I've seen more courage in a Paulo.
Defender.
Confringo. What are your thoughts on eloquence?
Revelio. The book of poems that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back.
Wait, this is the way I came from.
Revelio. Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it. Revelio. Capolso. Natty must be here somewhere.
You found us. I knew you would realize I had left my one.
Over here.
Mr. Rabe. Daisy.
You spoke with my wife.
Worried about you.
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed, and there's an anti-apparition jinx on the cells. I need you to find my wand.
Use mine. I'll find you.
I need my wand for this. Using one with which I have no connection may not work as well, or as...
I shall do my best. Any idea where it might be? Understood. I'll find it.
Your friend Natty was not able to summon my wand. It must be blocked by something.
Revelio. Mr. Rabe's wand could be in there.
My wand is somewhere in this room. I can tell.
Depulso. Revelio. Aloha Mora.
Why was that not glowing the first time?
If Natty... Mr. Rabe's wand. He'll be glad to have this back. Mr. Rabe.
Well done. Now, you best stand back. What?
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must pay.
Isn't it just out the main entrance?
Revelio.
Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow once and for all.
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe. Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife, Miss Onai. Your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
With all due respect, officer, the authorities haven't done much about any of this.
There's more to taking down an organization like the Ashwinders than simply storming in and hauling them off based on a few accusations. I must insist that you leave them to us. We shall have... Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
Oh boy.
She wanted... She wanted me to find it.
Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
Care enough to remove my demiguise statues?
Pardon me, sir, but about those curious demiguise statues I've seen.
What? Who are you? Why do you ask?
They're causing Mr. Moon terrible distress.
Ha! Good. That was the idea.
So you did create them?
Yes, I did. It was a ploy to give that pathetic oaf Moon a taste of the grief he caused me years ago. You are the one who's been pilfering them.
I am, at the request of Mr. Moon. I received your owl on your stationery.
Ah, well, fitting Moon would enlist a student. Too cowardly. Even when we were at school, he was a cowardly bully. Gave me a horrible nickname, which I shan't repeat. I was thrilled when we left school and he seemed gone for good. Then I started seeing him around Hogsmeade. It was too much. Even if I do take satisfaction in that his life's destiny was to be a lowly caretaker.
Mr. Moon does a good deal for the school, and he's taught me a lot. He's terrified of those statues.
I know. You should have seen his face when that boggart appeared. Oh, priceless. That's when I knew what I needed to do. I simply didn't want to encounter him anymore. So, I shrewdly put a boggart in his path. I then created the demiguise statues to keep him in his place, so to speak. The Moons were inspired. It worked brilliantly. Until you started clear...
The statues are a form of bullying. You're no better than him. Perhaps it's time you both moved on.
Fair point, I suppose. If they've terrified him, as you say, he may have learned his lesson.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Mr. Moon, I've learned who's behind the demiguise statues. It was a classmate of yours that you bullied, Piers Pemberton.
Oh, I might have known. Pigtails Piers.
I don't think he likes being called that.
Of course he does. Oh, he had such flowing locks, and we used to laugh about them. I laughed the hardest of all. Clever, clever man. I'd no idea he was so deviant. Whatever statues remain seem less terrifying now that I know they were put out by old pigtails. Continue collecting them if you like. As for me, I'm gonna go and pay a visit to my old friend.
Professor Fig, the Keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the portkey. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office.
Incredible. All right. You'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
I've actually met Scrope, but I'm not sure he'll tell me. He's rather devoted to the Black family.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't Polyjuice Potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does.
So how do you already have Polyjuice Potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the Ministry on his behalf. Now, time is of the essence. Drink up and I shall explain more. How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope, who could be anywhere in the castle. You might look for Professor Kagawa. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to meet a liaison from the Ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Professor, a moment of your time, please. Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Places to be, Professor Sharp. Places to be.
Of course, sir. Only, you'd asked me about a particular potion, and I
did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
Really? Why can't we talk about potions here? Seems fine to me.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
Now, to determine which student...
That's hilarious.
Professor Fig, the Keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the portkey. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office.
Incredible. All right. You'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
I've actually met Scrope, but I'm not sure he'll tell me. He's rather devoted to the Black family.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't polyjuice potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does.
So how do you already have polyjuice potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the ministry on his behalf.
This is
now,
glitched.
Time is of the essence. Drink up and I shall explain more. How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope, who could be anywhere in the castle. You might look for Professor Kagawa. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to meet a liaison from the ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Do you have a moment, Professor? Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Places to be, Professor Sharp. Places to be.
Of course, sir. Only... you'd asked me about a particular potion, and I
did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
Really? Why can't we talk about potions here? Seems fine to me.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
What the?
Now, to determine which student gets this rather
If you must speak with me, consult my secretaries or what have you. Now move along.
I'm going down? Yeah, I'm going down.
I haven't time for any of you at the moment. None. None at all. Move aside.
What could the headmaster want? I'll be back here soon enough.
I like how it's
chewing with
Christmas
your mouth
decorations.
open? Where are your manners?
Professor Black, how are you, sir?
Mr. Gaunt, where do you think you're going?
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm simply on my way outside.
Taking the day off, eh? Typical student, wasting the hours away.
I have to write 20 inches on Dittany and its uses. Was heading to the greenhouse.
Ah, yes. Mixed with bubo tuber pus makes a fine mustache paste. Yes, mustache paste. I find.
Are you feeling all right, sir? You don't seem yourself.
I assure you I am quite healthy, Gaunt. If I need a medical diagnosis, I shall head to St. Mungo's.
Something is very wrong with Professor Black.
Stand proud, purebloods. The future is yours.
Professor, a word?
Who wants
I should
a
like
word?
to speak with you, Professor.
Oh.
Professor Black, again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kogawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they're fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game.
A silly game? You are quite impossible sometimes. Sir, I've a good mind to write to the Department of Magical Games and Sports at the Ministry about you.
Good idea. I can even provide the parchment should you need it. Now, where is my elf?
Parchment? Very well, I will, and with pleasure. And I spotted Scrope in the Great Hall. Seems to be avoiding me.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kogawa.
What did we do to deserve him as a headmaster?
Greetings! I mean, out of my way, children.
I'd love to have a house in one of the nearby hamlets. I hope it's not about anything I've been doing.
Miss Broom, a word.
Oh, Professor, this is an interesting surprise. It's Bloom, by the way.
Remind me of your area of affinity, Broom. OWLs are swift approaching.
Charms, sir. Non-verbal spells. Might work on one that makes me disappear.
Well, keep at it, Broom. And before you know it, you'll be as invisible as that new fifth year seems to be.
They're not invisible, sir. I've seen them near the library. In fact, they help me with my, heavy books.
Speaking of invisible, where's my blasted house elf?
Something seems a little off with the headmaster.
I wonder almost daily why I accepted this appointment from the minister.
Professor, a word, please. Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Since I have you here, I wondered if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig.
Oh, very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise? I confess I do